Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this how to play video I'm going to take a look at the new Paladin deck that has taken the ladder by a storm. It's performing incredibly well, it's crushing the opposition. It is the Ramp Paladin. And this deck is pretty silly, I have to say. It might look like it's just a high roll deck, but in Hearthstone, no deck is ever really as simple to play as people make it out to be, and also no decks are ever as hard to play as some people would like to claim, and they all kind of fall in between. And in this video I'm going to tell you all you need to know to effectively play this deck. So what does this deck even do? There's a bunch of big minions in the deck, there's a bunch of Murlocs in the deck. Then there's cards like HSReplay, Tip the Scales and Storm the Timeless. So Tip the Scales is the only spell in this deck, which means that whenever you trigger the spell burst effect of HSReplay, given that you haven't drawn both copies of Tip the Scales, it's always going to cast Tip the Scales, and that's going to draw a bunch of Murlocs from your deck. And in fact, by far the highest win rate card in this deck is HSReplay when you're on the coin. You play HSReplay, you play the coin, Tip the Scales comes out, boom. Instant Murloc board, super pressure, probably just a win. If you're not on the coin, you can still trigger HSReplay because you have Wand Makers in the deck. So Wand Maker can give you a 1-cost spell, then you play HSReplay and the 1-cost spell at 5 mana and you still get Tip the Scales. So that's one way to get all of those Murlocs going. When planning on your Tip the Scales, you should also think about what you want to do with your Murgogol. Murgogol is a great card to get from Tip the Scales. It's a fine Murloc, but once you shuffled Murloc Prime into your deck, then you probably don't want to Tip the Scales that one out, so sometimes I even refrain from playing Murgor early, just so that I will have better Tip the Scales and more value, depending of course whether the matchup depends on value or whether it depends on tempo. The other key card in the deck is Storm the Timeless, 4-mana 8/8 dragon, battle cry, set each player to 10 mana crystals. Note that you don't get that mana immediately to your use, you get empty mana crystals, so your opponent is the first one to actually have a 10 mana turn. And that means that while you usually really want to play the Storm because there are a lot of expensive cards in this deck, there are Colossi and Tip the Scales and Rabbits and all sorts of stuff, you have to think about what you have in your hand, because whenever you want to play Nostromo, you want to have a follow-up. So if your hand is like Nostromo or a bunch of Murlocs, playing Nostromo doesn't really help you, it's probably going to help the opponent. So what you really want to do is you want to play Nostromo when you're in a position where you have some of those expensive cards, preferably cards like Tip the Scales for example, or maybe like a Darkmoon Rabbit or Scrapyard Colossus. Ideally like a 10 mana card and a Clown maybe, so that you can follow the Nostromo with the 10 mana card and then with the Corrupted Clown. Whereas if you don't have a follow-up for the Nostromo, you're just giving your opponent an easier way to beat you. Because while this is an effective deck, there are ways for this deck to lose. And one of the main ways this deck loses is against OTK decks. Decks like Mosagi Mage for example. You get some big stuff, but they get to 10 mana, they draw their deck, they have their OTK ready, they freeze your board a couple of times and then they just kill you. In those matchups, you're by far the best chance you have is to have HSReplay and a spell so that you get Murloc pressure going before they ever reach 10 mana. Without the HSReplay, it's really hard to get enough Murloc pressure to actually kill an opponent. So sometimes you then just have to gamble that maybe they don't have their key pieces yet and you will have enough time to finish them off, but it's a hard struggle. You may have noticed that there are some curious cards in this deck. There are cards like Darkmoon Rabbit, 10 mana, rush, poisonous, also damages the minions next to whomever this attacks and it's a beast. There's a Carousel Griffin, 5 mana 5/5 mech, Divine Shield, Corrupt, gain +3/+3 and taunt, and then there's Carnival Clowns. Well, Clowns you're surely familiar with. Those boards full of minions. And why there are exactly these cards, it relies on the old cards. Nesot, God of the Deep, will resurrect 1 minion of each tribe. Darkmoon Rabbit is the only beast in this deck, so Nesot will always resurrect Darkmoon Rabbit if it has died, and that means that on your Nesot turn you can actually also kill some minions. Carousel Griffin is the only mech in the deck, so Nesot is also going to resurrect that one. Carousel Griffin has further synergy with Yasharaj. Yasharaj is going to give you new copies of all your corrupted cards that you have played. Not the corrupt ones, only the ones that you have successfully corrupted and then played. So you can get Carousel Griffin back from that, you can get Clowns back from that, you can get Strongmen back from that. And you're basically trying to navigate this line. How much value you need from the old cards and how much tempo do you need to win the games. And make decisions accordingly. As for the mulligans with this deck, there are typically 3 cards that you're really looking for. Hyabe's Allura is by far the best card in the deck, especially when you're on the coin, which is really important. If you're not on the coin and you're offered Allura, then you're also trying to look for a Wandmaker, because then Wandmaker could give you that 1-cost spell, which you can use to trigger Allura, and that way you can get your tip the scales going. On the other hand, you have also the ramp strategy, for which you need Nostormo. Nostormo is the only dragon in the deck. So there are also red scale dragon tamers, there are 2 copies of that in the deck. So then you have to decide, like if you're offered both, which one do you keep? Do you keep him both of them? Because in many cases you can just play the red scale dragon tamer, it's going to die, and you're going to get your Nostormo. But sometimes your opponent can refuse to kill it, or they can silence it or steal it. And then Red Scale Dragon Tamer, because it's a death rattle, it doesn't always guarantee Nostormo. But it's still one of the key cards that you're looking for. So Hyabes, Nostormo, Red Scale Dragon Tamer are the key cards that you're typically looking for. If you're playing against something really aggressive, let's say Rogue, then Armor Vendor and Acidic Swampus are in the deck for that. So you can remove Rogue's weapon and you can get some early minion just defending yourself, get some more armor, survive until you get the big swing turns. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also support the content that I create by joining as a member here on YouTube, or join as a subscriber on Twitch where I livestream Hearthstone. And now, let's go take a look at Ramp Paladin in action. That's not the problem at all. But let's see. I think I want the Wandmaker out there rather than the Armor Vendor right now. Gives me more options. If you give it Divine Shield if you're holding a dragon. Well, I am holding a dragon. Do I want to tell the Rogue that I'm holding a dragon? I just rarely have any idea of what's legal or not. Alright, this would be the Crab Rider time now. Crab Rider and Sand Breath. Yay! It's a Divine Shielded Rider! Killing those minions. That one goes face. People just don't care about legality of things, typically. Hi, Tusk me. So this is actually probably a Royal Kick Rogue. So that could be a problem. But if they spend all of their resources here, then that's fine. Because then I'm suddenly in a position where I can develop Nostormo. And Rogue has only 5 cards now. So it's unlikely that they can do a lot of harm with those. Although it's of course possible, depends on their luck. But we'll see about that in the near future. They get to develop a bit of a board here.
What makes something real?
Is Kel'Thuzad annoying enough that I need to kill it? Of course the other one is also. They both have their downsides. If I leave Kel'Thuzad up, and the Rogue gets some kind of a spell, then Kel'Thuzad could do. I think I have to kill the Kel'Thuzad. I think that has to be done. Obviously this one now is going to kill the Nostormo. But if Kel'Thuzad lived, and Rogue was able to kill the Scrapyard Colossus with a spell, then that would be that terrible for me. And Rogue is incentivized to use the treasure here to kill the 7/7, in which case the treasure doesn't live to kill the clowns, which is the important part here, whereas Kel'Thuzad would have been a huge problem. Yeah, and like that would have exactly happened. If I killed the treasure, the Eviscerate would have killed the Colossus, and then I would have just lost. So I played around what the Rogue has available to them perfectly. And then we get to the occasion where we can play the Carnival Clown. And this should in most cases win this game. Because even that rogue deck is not running Flake. They get to draw a lot of cards. They get some Well-Kick Masters going. Now, that was randomly generated. Wand Thief, which could randomly generate them sufficient answers. It's unlikely, but it is possible. That's going to be a Shadow Step. So that Plunderer can kill another minion, maybe? Rogue is rarely able to answer a board full of clowns, but in this instance, Rogue seems to be rolling fairly high. 2 Brain Freezes randomly generated by the Well-Kick Master already. The important part here is that I can kill the Well-Kick Master at least. So that I can stop the random generation. So I do need to kill that one. I probably need to play the Carousel Griffin here. And I guess the Armor Vendor and Hero Power. I don't want to play the Red Scale Dragon Tamer, because currently I have the 4/4 Storm in my N'Zoth. So N'Zoth has the 4/4 Storm in it, it has a Crab Rider in it, and after this one dies it will have the Carousel Griffin in it. And it has the Scrapyard Colossus. So next turn is most likely going to be the Nostormo. And hopefully from there we can get to a position that Rogue will be unable to answer, even with a bunch of random stuff. That random Potion of Illusion was pretty good though. That now ensures that Rogue will have 2 very big questing adventurers, as well as more Jandi's minions. Well, yeah, that was pretty good one. So that was a randomly generated Potion of Illusion from a randomly generated Wand Thief. That then gave the Rogue... Well, Mortuary Machine actually might be a bit of a downside. It's only when I play a minion though, it doesn't apply to summoning minions. Oh, and then there was a randomly generated Cold Blood, which then allows the Rogue to actually get through a lot. That was kind of awkward. So I have tipped the scales. I still have War Leaders in the deck, I have the Fishy Flyers in the deck. Can I get through these with that? I don't know which one is the illusion. Playing N'Zoth here gives me a couple of taunt minions, but they might not be enough to handle this. I wish I knew which one was the illusion. Which one is it? Is it that one? No, I guessed wrong. Too bad. Now I need to get some rush or charge minions. I get some. That's excellent. So I'm able to kill this. I'm able to kill that one. I'm able to kill that one. I can play that, I can kill that, and I can kill that. And I can Hero Power. Okay, well, this board state should be sufficient, hopefully, to handle the Rogue. Rogue is able to top deck another Well-Kick Master. And they have that Potion of Illusion thing, so they get another set of totally random combo cards going. Let's see what happens here. Okay, they get more random stuff. Is all that random stuff going to be enough for the rogue?
This guy's toast.
A fairly sizable contingent of random stuff. So I currently have 7, 8... I have 12 damage on the board. So I could do some spectral flyers to kill the key minions and push face. Can the rogue hit back at me? I have seen both of their main deck eviscerates. That's what kind of seems fine, right? How many minions is it going to resurrect? Nostormu, Carousel Griffin, Scrapyard Colossus, and a Murloc. 4 minions. So I would need 5 spaces on the board. So I need to get rid of this one. I need to get rid of this one. And I absolutely want to kill that one. Then I'm playing the Nasot. I will have those 5 spaces on this board. And from here, I should win the game, finally. Well, that's a Dragon Tamer, but I already have the Nostormu. That's another dragon. I need payoff cards for the Nostormu. I need payoff cards. Just having Nostormu isn't enough without any payoff cards. I'm not completely happy with where I am right now. These two were miserable. 2 draws. Absolutely miserable. I'm not even sure if I can afford to give the rogue 10 mana here, because I don't have any payoff cards.
A cruel fate awaits you in the ashes.
I actually think I can't afford to give the rogue 10 mana here. Rogue has way too many resources, and I have way too few. On the other hand, that is now a payoff card, which will then corrupt the clowns. That means playing the Nostormu, killing that minion, going face. Because now I have the Colossus into the corrupted clowns, and that should win. Even with the 10 mana from the rogue here. Rogue needs at least sap, and that might not even be enough. They will need to deal 31 damage in 2 turns, and they have to have a sap. I mean, having sap is the only way to deal the damage. They are able to draw pretty much their deck, I suppose. Crab Rider! How about that? What if the Crab Rider gets a lot of buffs? Well, we'll see about that when it happens. This is a Scrapyard Colossus. What if there is a cold blood for the Crab Rider? Sap and a cold blood. 11, 14 damage there. Sap and cold blood. Broken is just 6 more damage. They only have 5 cards in hand.
Now is the time.
I think I killed the Greyheart Sage, but we'll see. Hi, Kingham. They need the sap. That's the basic premise here. Without the sap, the rogue is doomed. But with sap, anything is possible. But now that... No, this... No. No, Rogue, no. That's not working out. They needed the face damage. Fine, then we win. Okay, then we win. It's just... Well, it is what it is. Let's see what happens next. A Cocoon Priest. I wish I had the high abyss, because I'm on the coin. Sadly, all I have is no storm, which might be bad or it might not. We'll see. So I have the option to coin no storm 1-3, follow that up with a Scrapyard Colossus. I think we're going to give that a try. I will play this Scrap Rider here. I'm just curious. I'll coin the Nostormo. And I'll kill that one with the Crab Rider. Now obviously Priest has access to 10 mana. So lots of things can happen. This Priest could even have stealing capabilities, which would bode ill for me. Soul Mirror would be bad for me, I suppose, as well. Nice random Onyx Mage Scribe for another pair of random spells. That's a lot of random stuff right there. So I have the option to try to push, or I have the option to be more conservative and kill like the Mage Scribe. I believe I choose to push here. With the Colossus and the Strongman, and just hit Priest in the face and see, I mean, Priest now has a bunch of random spells. Are those random spells good ones? What do you think of the Hysteria nerf? It's sad for Standard. It was necessary for Wild, because there will always be ways to do things with Hysteria otherwise. But it is sad for Standard. Oh, a randomly generated Soul Mirror. That was a really good one. That was exactly what the Priest needed. And they still have the real Soul Mirror left. So if I go with like Nezoth here, I get the Nostormo back. But with that Clown coming, I suppose this is the Nezoth turn. And Nezoth first, so that I don't resurrect the Felcracked Colossus. So that I can kill that, and this one kills that. Priest has their real Soul Mirror left, because that was just a random Soul Mirror. So, we'll see how this goes. Hysteria, alright. A little annoying. Another random Onyx Mage Scribe, giving the Priest another 2 random spells. Impressive luck here. Lots of random stuff going on. It's time to play the clowns. I think I need to play the clown here. Go face with these. So, Priest has a bunch of randomly generated spells because they were able to Draconic studies into minions that generated random stuff. So they generated a lot of random stuff. That's a main deck Plague of Death though. Okay, that's not bad. Another clown. I guess it's time to corrupt that clown with this Yashurash. While I play this clown. And let's see if the priest has more board clear spells available. I mean, I know they have their main deck Soul Mirror left. That was Snap Pick. Is it strong enough? It was second randomly generated Soul Mirror in this game. Very well. So I've seen 2 random Soul Mirrors so far in this game. I'm obviously slightly saddened by that. What if I tip the scales? But what if Priest has the 3 damage Cocoon spell? It's bad for my tip the scales, right? I think it's better to just play another clown here. Alright, so we have seen their main deck Plague of Death, we have seen 2 randomly generated Soul Mirrors. Then they have their main deck Soul Mirror, so the 3rd Soul Mirror is able to handle my 4th big board. I'm obviously slightly saddened about that. But that's how it goes sometimes. I could do Colossus and Strongman. That would put 13 power on the board. But it might be better to tip the scales here. Just get my Murlocs out there. But this Murloc board is vulnerable to that Cocoon spell, for example. As well as to some other, like Double Breath of the Infinite. That's also something. That does shuffle the Murgulgor Prime now into the deck, which potentially gives me more ways to handle things. Okay, so this turn I guess I am killing this Claw Machine, because there is a chance of Apotheosis from the Priest's hand. I think I want to kill that. But then what? I think it's a collection of these weaker minions here. That's Strongman, and there's no reason to hold back the Eye for an Eye. Let's play that one. And then let's see what the Priest has, but now they could have some of those Cocoon spells pretty easily, for example. We'll see how it goes.
That belongs in the museum.
Harrison giving them an additional card is of course something that I didn't really want. Well, Murgulgor Prime is interesting, but I don't think it's for this turn yet. I think here we're looking at the Spectral Flyers. Trade away that one. And the Spectral Flyer to trade away that one. I don't want to give Priest an opening with an Apotheosis. Would they have Holy Novas? They might have the Cocoon spell. I think I can take those trades like that. Then go face with these. Alright. Next turn we're probably looking at Murgulgor Prime. Priest has so far had 3 Soul Mirrors in this game, and a Plague of Death. And what else will they have? I haven't seen any copies of Apotheosis yet, but there probably should be some. Okay, that's also the 3rd renew. 3 renews, these 3 Soul Mirrors. I have only 15 damage here too, so I cannot actually kill the Priest here. If I leave this up, and there's an Apotheosis on that, that would be a problem. Then it heals the Priest for at least 8. There is also a chance that there is no Apotheosis. I suppose we will try with the... We'll try with the big taunt and go face with everything. See how this works out. Get the priest down to 6 health. Should the priest play another minion in addition to that, then the Darkmoon Rapid would be able to do things about that. Oh, that was a very nice resurrection. But that might not be enough. Oh, with the penance it is enough, right? Yeah, with the penance it is enough to keep the priest alive. I'm sad about that. I always need to do the Darkmoon Rabbit here. And then kill those. I guess I'm killing that one. I suppose in this position I will also kill the Cobalt Scalebane. Push face a little, but I don't have way to lethal here. Even if I draw the Angling Rod. Okay, can Priest resurrect a 7/7 taunt minion? Or the Clown. Clown is also good for the Priest, I suppose. A little bit annoying for sure. Too bad this just doesn't look like it's going to be enough. There's strongman out there. Well, let's see what happens next. I'm afraid I'm running out of steam a little bit here. The priest's random generation has been splendid in this game. But that's the way it goes. I don't think I'm going to get an eye for an eye kill. Somehow I'm just not seeing it. Maybe I needed to sacrifice this to get a random legendary minion, right? Maybe that was necessary. Unfortunately, it looks like there's going to be no apotheosis, okay? Oh, but that was a great Holy Nova. Random generated, of course. Yes, I know, but I figured that I would be better off without that. I don't really want to give the priest armor, but I'm afraid I'm a little out of juice here. To remember to squelch them before they start BMing. And too bad they are able to with the random cards that they generated. I mean, Gift of Luminous was random, as was Holy Nova. And both of those came from the random on its Maze Scribes, without which the priest, of course, would have been dead long ago. But with all the random stuff that the priest was able to generate here, it makes no sense. I mean, 3 soul mirrors, really. I would need a Great Murgurgle now. I didn't get a Great Murgurgle. Nothing with Rush, nothing with Charge. Priest might stabilize again. Can the randoms be cured? Well, rotations will cure it eventually if they stop printing too many bad cards, but we'll see. Now they have this Cocoon spell that deals 3 damage to all minions. So they pop the Divine Shields and then they play that. Yes, that one exactly. Perfect card again. Perfect RNG. I just don't have a whole lot left. Well, this needs to give me some spectacular things. That's not it. I'll try again next turn. I need to get the Murloc that generates more Murlocs. Even that might not be enough though. Okay. That won't be enough. So there are many ways for me to die here, but we'll see. No, that's one way to lose this one. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.